It's your man Phil Williams from the Phil Williams Show. Let me get this. There we go. What's up? Hey guys. Man, miss you dearly. Apologize for not being here for you guys. How you doing, Diane Ellis? Diana? Man, Jamie Noswanger. How you doing, Jamie? Limo Damnell Mall. Sorry, but anyway, if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Cliff Kelly, what's up, man? Man, been praying for you, bro. Been praying for all you guys, man. And definitely keep praying for me. Ken Thompson, what's up, bro? Borgia, Miss Pamela Keaton, my Shiro, how you doing? Suzanne Edwards, Eric Snodgrass, how you doing, Eric? Jody Lee, Manish, man, if I'm messing up your guys' name, I apologize so much. If this is your first time listening to the Phil Williams Show, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Man, I miss you. I'm going to encourage you guys to do something for me because I think the things that I'm sharing and how I'm sharing them is starting to get to the powers that be. And I believe the algorithms of this Facebook Live has captivated my ability to be able to share my alerts and everything and share inside of groups. I have been in Facebook purgatory for 2 times in the last 2 weeks. And so I'm going to ask you guys to keep sharing the show. Thank you so much. To me, it's a badge of honor because it shows that we're being effective, you know. And hey, what's up, Carol? But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in again, and welcome to the Phil Williams Show. Like my page, the Phil Williams Show on Facebook. Also subscribe to my YouTube channel, Phil Williams Show. And we are working on something very big to basically boost the broadcast and get off of these liberal ran media outlets. There's a lot of things that's been going on lately. A lot of times but I always let the Spirit of the Lord dictate what I'm going to share with you guys. But again, thank you. And I'm not going to belabor this that much longer. How you doing, Jim Briggs? If you guys are listening for the first time, please share me with your friends. I am not here to snowball you. I'm just going to share with you my opinion. That's all I'm going to do. How you doing, Susie Haney? I'm going to share my opinion. I'm going to be honest with you. I love the Lord and I love my country. I am not going to allow anybody to get me ticked off at a place I'm not going to leave. I will be a Black life that matters before I ever subscribe to that bowel movement of Black Lives Matter. There's a lot of things that's happening right now with our young people, with us, inside of our groups. There's just a lot of things happening, and this is what I want to talk about today. Pennsylvania. Everybody see what happened in Pennsylvania, right? Pennsylvania was not surprising to me. I'll be honest with you, I was surprised it kind of took as long as it did for Pennsylvania to happen. See, Pennsylvania and Alabama was bellwethers. But Alabama didn't define anything to me because Alabama was a given. Alabama had potential perverts and child molesters on the right side of America. And so the Democrat liberal winning in Alabama didn't surprise me as much, but Pennsylvania really wasn't surprising, but it should be something telling to you. See, what has happened because of the Trojan elephant? It's not a Trojan horse. It's a Trojan elephant. Because of the magical R. They have created the biggest easy button when it comes to true conservatism and true Christianity. Excuse me. They've created the biggest easy button in the world. And what Pennsylvania did is showed how this easy button works when it comes to people like us. And this is the ledge that I'm going to try to inspire you off of as a true conservative and as a true Christian. If you're that person that just really, really loves this country and you believe that Donald Trump is your savior, but you really, really you want us to believe you're a true Christian or a true conservative, I believe this show will help you also, because we got to look at what happened in Pennsylvania. The brackets that you have filled out for your 2018 and 2020, and I'm even going to go as far as 2022 and 2024. The brackets that you have filled out, this March Madness should show that you have losing brackets, especially if at the end of the bracket you have an incumbent there. See, first of all, there's a lot of incumbents jumping ship because they know what they've done. They know what they've done. They know that you don't understand what true term limits are. They know that you don't understand it. You're asking for them to vote their own demise. That's what you've been doing for all this time when you bring up term limits. See, the term limit is when you stop voting for them. That's the term limit. And so there's a lot of people on the right side of America understands what has really taken place. So they're retiring with full pensions and all this kind of foolishness and all this stuff. And now let's talk about the rest of the incumbents, because your brackets that you have for 2018 still has an incumbent in there as a winner. Pennsylvania should show you that that's not the case. More than Alabama. Alabama had some potential perverts running. Pennsylvania didn't. Pennsylvania had a person that was a conservative, that was handpicked, all this kind of stuff, won primaries, all this kind of stuff, and he lost. How he lost should be concerning to you and show that if your bracket has an incumbent in it, you're going to lose too. See, what Pennsylvania had, and Donald Trump said something very telling. What Pennsylvania had was someone Donald Trump said looked like him, ran a campaign like him. But see, what he didn't have that Donald Trump did have, and your emotions didn't allow you to really understand what was going on with Trump in 2016, is Lamb didn't have the magical R. But see, Donald Trump with his magical R has forced your incumbents to continually defend him while he does Democratic stuff, while he does liberal stuff, tariffs and all this foolishness. The magical R turned you and people on the right side into massive hypocrites. But you created a massive void in principle that Connor Lamb was able to fill in a Republican district. See, we have abandoned our principles and it's being filled. See, our principles is something God gives us. It's nothing that you vote on. It's nothing that you depend on some politician to give you. It's something that you should have in yourself. It's that thing, that conviction of morals and values. Donald Trump was able to buy you. And now he's just pimping us with tax cuts. I give thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands of dollars. Connor Lamb in Pennsylvania, because he wasn't running against a pervert, he was running against a massive void in principles, and he filled it. Connor Lamb was able to walk around with a rifle as a flaming liberal. He was able to walk around with a rifle and say he was for the Second Amendment. Why? Because you guys following the magical R and the Trojan elephant are now desperate for somebody to protect the Second Amendment. Easy button. Connor Lamb was able to sound conservative in certain ways. Why? Because the principles of conservatism has been abandoned while you guys are following the magical R. And liberals have found a way to fill that void. See, you guys have an easy button that I'm trying to get you guys to stop making it so easy for you to run over to the fringe issues of the right side of America. Abandoning what's in the middle, principles, See, you think you're standing for something. You are. I'm not saying you're not. But see, they say Second Amendment, then we run over to the Second Amendment, we stay there. And they allow these kids to come out of school and make you think that you old, conservative, Republican, whatever, right side, have to protect yourself from these children. Easy button. Do you understand that we're running around trying to protect ourselves from children, that we're not even listening to what they're saying in the march? We're not even trying to counteract how our children got there. While you think you're defending our Second Amendment, they can't get rid of the Second Amendment like that, but they can get rid of you from the place where you need to be to teach principles, morals, and values to our children who are demonstrating that they're demonstrating that they're hijacked 5 ways from Sunday. Easy button, Second Amendment. While they're arguing Second Amendment, we are arguing the killing of babies in the womb, running over to the fringe issues. Not to say that we shouldn't, but I'm trying to get you to understand, while we're running over to the fringe issues of the Second Amendment and abortion, the magical R still has these things in place. The incumbent still has these things funded, but you've left our babies to still be manipulated by these liberals. Pennsylvania is showing you the tactics of liberalism. You're going to continue to have in your bracket this old Republican that's been selling you out. This old, needed to be term limited a long time ago, got you defending this magical R in this seat of some old people while liberals run young people. And all they got to do is have a prop of a gun, tell you that they love the Lord, and fill the place that we have abandoned. Easy button. All it takes for you to spend 20 minutes, 20 days, 2 hours, a whole day with a troll on this social media. Somebody can hide behind a thumbnail that you don't know from Adam. All it takes is for them to say, at least he's not Hillary. Easy button. And you'll spend all your time with that. Ran over to the, at least he's not Hillary. We should be past that. We should be smarter than that. A troll, all they have to do is say, at least it's not Hillary, and you'll run and stay there with them and dance with them. Trying to convince somebody that you cannot see. But guess who you're not spending time with? Our children that's being indoctrinated in these educational systems. What are you doing to impact them? The easy button. At least it's not Hillary. Oh my God, all you gotta say is Hillary. That's all you got. We should be past that now, people. We should be past that. Another easy button. Donald Trump is David. God picked Donald Trump. And then we sit there and argue with this troll Bible scriptures and stuff like this for the next 3 days. Easy button. But guess what we're not doing? Our children is being hijacked in this liberal institution is not hearing the love of the Lord from us. And they marching up and down the streets, pushing easy buttons. What are we doing to help our children when we can be dragged off into the weeds and leave our children to these indoctrination centers? They're not coming out of school running into us conservatives and us Christians with boots on the ground, showing the love of the Lord versus talking the love of the Lord, showing the love of the Lord, showing the love of patriotism, showing the love of this country. We leave them alone while we argue with these freaking trolls on this social media. Easy button. Pennsylvania showed that they got the moral high ground on lock. And all it takes is a liberal to hold a gun and say, I'm for the Second Amendment. Have you noticed that the liberals aren't arguing their points anymore? Have you noticed? You don't hear the liberals screaming to the top of their lungs about Obamacare. Why is that? You don't hear liberals running over to their fringe issues. Matter of fact, Pennsylvania showed that that Conor Lamb can diss Nancy Pelosi When before they had to run and revere Nancy Pelosi. If they didn't say Nancy Pelosi, they didn't have the of the Democrat Party. So Connor Lamb can hold a weapon, say I'm going to vote against Pelosi, and win a Republican a Republican seat. Do you see what's happening, people? Pennsylvania should be a wake-up call so that you can see your brackets of your incumbents winning in 2018 and 2020. It should show you that your brackets are filled with a bunch of losers. They have abandoned what they used to stand for. They are massive hypocrites now. Your incumbent is silent while Donald Trump's porn star episodes and escapades is ruining and rebranding everything that we used to stand for. Rush Limbaughs and Shina Spanks and Shuckaduckies and all the rest of the Trumpy bunch that's supposed to be media talking heads for us have abandoned everything that we stand for, but yet they're still on the top. Our children are now robotically, mannequinly, or some kind of mechanic puppetly walking out of schools, doing the liberal people's bidding. And where are we at? Still able to be sucked into a day-long conversation with a freaking troll on the internet. I'm not saying we shouldn't defend our Second Amendment. I'm saying that we need to defend it smarter. We need to understand when they can hit an easy button as a keyboard warrior, and we don't have boots on the ground. See, the things that I do, I recognized this a long time ago, and this is why I'm here. This is why I ask for your support, because what we do, what I do as a true Christian and a true conservative is I function it. I come on here, talk with you guys, pray to God that I'm inspiring you to check your salvation and understand a tax cut is not going to cut it. When you get there to the heaven's gate and your name is written in the Lamb's Book of Life, that you've elevated another human into Jesus status, and a tax cut is not going to get you into heaven when you have a demon that gave it to you. You voting for the president and giving him godlike status is not going to cut it. When God made it very clear, just pray for your leaders that you may have peace. He didn't say vote for them. So who you voted for is not going to cut it. So your salvation has to be more important than what's happening right now. The lack of us functioning our salvation, the lack of us functioning our conservatism is being demonstrated in the streets of America when they can highlight children being shot. And since those 17 children have been shot, 60,000 more children have been murdered in the womb. Because why? They're functioning their liberalism. They're showing how they've indoctrinated your Christian child into liberalism. And all it takes is for them to say something silly on the internet and suck you into that with no boots on the ground. Pennsylvania show they have a tactic. In the brackets that you have with this March Madness going on from this Trojan elephant shows that we do not know how to function in the thing that we say we are. Do you understand that we are suborning an incumbent that's not speaking out against adultery, bigotry, what you do to the least of these, making fun of the handicap? They're suborning this thing, and your bracket has that incumbent in it during this March Madness, and you think it's going to win 2018. You know what needs to take place in 2018? Is those babies that's marching out there needs to have us next to them. while they're screaming children's lives, they need to understand all children's lives, not just the indoctrinated gun safety, gun regulation, gun banning children's lives. We need to get from behind our keyboards, get from behind this social media, and do things like this to help our babies. They need to get the little Jimmy book while you're trying to figure out how you're going to save your incumbent seat, who is making sure that everything that's in place to save our souls is being given away so they can support a magical R and a unicorn elephant that's like a Trojan elephant. And you're going to spend $2,700 to try to save their seat, and can't even spend $13 to give a child a book that has morals and values in it, that helps gird them up from the things that's attacking them now, so they value all lives versus the liberal indoctrinated focus on lives. If you do want to stay behind your keyboard, support the boots on the ground that I'm doing and help me go save these babies. They're walking out of schools. They're right now saying they are smart enough to replace adults. I don't care how much of a jackanape that this incumbent is. Let's keep it real, people. Our children aren't smart enough to make decisions like this. The very same people that's marching out of Stroman Douglas and all these children, those children are bullying people that's coming back and shooting them. They're bullying kids. They think they're better than somebody. They're emotional. Their frontal lobes aren't developed. And they think that they can run this country. Why? Because while we're fighting behind the scenes, we're not using the power and the dominion that God said we have, that Jesus Christ came to show us what we can do. We're not using this to save our babies. What have you done lately to get into the schools so we can hug and pray for that Cruz kid that's going to come back and shoot somebody? What are we doing to get into the workplace to help that young man or woman that can't handle being fired? It's going to come back and kill him with a paper clip and a rubber band if they have to. What are we doing? We've left the moral and the functioning conservative and Christian high ground to just typing and sending our money to a bunch of people that's already demonstrated they're going to sell us out. And our bracket still has that incumbent in there. Our church bracket still has that wayward pastor in there, justifying sin halfway from Sunday, convincing you that the lesser of two evils is acceptable. This March Madness should show you that if you have an incumbent pastor and an incumbent politician in your bracket, liberalism has your number. And Pennsylvania was just the beginning. Alabama didn't count because the potential perverts were supposed to lose. But we didn't have a pervert. We had a pervert in chief came out there and put his mouth on a Republican and they lost. And there's no letting up. He's already demonstrated in March Madness. He's going to go around, whether invited or not. He's going to put his Trojan elephant mouth on the rest of the people that you have in your brackets. This was the plan all along. And our incumbents in the church and outside the church, in the Congress and the Senate. And you're supporting the abandoning of morals and values. Come on, man. It's never liberalism Forget Never Trump. Never Trump has a liberal right next to you because the liberal's saying the same thing. Yeah, you're right, never Trump. And you're going, yeah, my group is big. Never liberalism makes it hard. You'll know if it's a liberal. You'll know because they're going to start defending liberalism. The Never Trump thing, this thing is bigger than Trump, people. You have to see how Trump has now minimized us, we the people. We're asking this same government to save us when we're supposed to know the dominion and the power of the Holy Spirit that's supposed to dwell inside of us. Never liberalism, people. Never. Never. Liberalism is not a fan of our Jesus. It's not a fan of our Constitution. And that magical R has created the biggest Trojan elephant ever in the history of our great country. We might be small, but we got history on our side. We have the Bible on our side. The Bible says where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'm in the midst. That's faith the size of a mustard seed. You can move mountains. We have a biblical, historical documentation of how God shrunk an army of 30,000 people down to 300 and defeated an army of 60. We have our ancestors, our founding escaped slaves, the amazing things they did. Less than 3 to 8% of our country fought the British and saved this country in the Revolutionary War. A single woman like Harriet Tubman led things. A single man like Martin Luther King. See, we have small, major things if you just stay focused and principled. Support programs like what I'm doing. I have over almost 3,800 friends on Facebook. There should be no reason why our babies are not getting these kind of things. Should be no reason why. If all it takes is just a small amount of resources, there's no reason why that the drug gangster rappers are the only ones that can talk to our children when we have created a whole anti-drug CD that just needs your support to get to our children. There is no reason why us motivated anti-abortion people shouldn't be standing side by side with our children, walking out of high school to saying we should be saving children's lives and show them all children, not just your hypnotized Second Amendment assassinated children. There is no reason why our children is saying we want to save children, are looking to get rid of the NRA while Planned Parenthood does not even get mentioned. The only reason why this is taking place, because you don't know how to fight right. And you don't recognize a fighter that can use a little of your resources if it hits you square in your Facebook Live. And it's not just about me. There's probably other people like me. But I can speak for me. I'm doing it. I'm trying not to leave our babies to these liberal institutions without something of morals and values that counteract that foolishness. I'm functioning. My pastor just preached on this thing. I'm functioning in my dominion. I'm trying to encourage you to function in yours. Stand with me. We the people, not them the government. We don't need the government's permission to go help our children while they've been coached into going outside, leaving. It's almost like how happy we are when Trump is not in the White House. He can't do no more damage. But our children leaving the educational institution to go out there and do what they were indoctrinated to do. And all we can do is get sucked into, at least he's not Hillary, and then spend all day with that fool. I didn't hear you when it was Obama, and then hang all day with that fool. God chose Donald Trump and then spend all day with that fool. These easy buttons. We're spending our time on this social media with these fools. If you do want to do that, shoot some resources my way so I can go out there and help our children against the biggest fool. We know Russia is on Facebook. We know. So all it takes is a Russian to come and say, oh, at least he's not Hillary. I'm sorry. At least he's not Hillary. Oh my God. Oh, you're stupid. Oh, I got to spend time with you. Come on, people. Hey, that's what I wanted to share today. Pennsylvania should be a wake-up call. And if you have an incumbent pastor that told you about this magical R and put the morals and values down, you know, read the word for yourself, you'll know. Respectfully decline that foolishness. Even when your pastor has been hijacked. Know the word for yourself. 1 minute, when Obama was in, the pastor was against all this stuff. And next minute, Trump is in, and your pastor is cool with it. Something ain't right. You got to replace the people you have in your brackets if they're incumbents. Pennsylvania showed that's a losing proposition because you've given up the moral high ground. And the liberals is filling in that vacuum. This is bigger than Trump. I pray for Trump every day. I pray for him. So please support what I'm doing. Go to LilJimmyDJPoz.Jimdo.com. Lil Jimmy, LILJIMMY DJPOZ .JIMDO.com. LilJimmyDJPoz.com. Make a donation. Go to Amazon and purchase a Little Jimmy book. What I'm trying to do, I'm about to pilot a program in Atlanta. I'm going to need, we're going to start with 100 books. I need 100 books to give away to these children. I'm asking you guys to help me purchase 100 books. Go to Amazon, purchase a book for your family, but then in the mailing shipping, ship me some books so I can give them to these children. If you still want to support your bracket, you think you're a politician in the bracket, you still want to support them, all I'm just saying is, let me go out here and help these children while you do your thing. If you want to still argue because you feel that you got some purpose on this internet, by all means, do that. But walk and talk and chew gum at the same time. Show that you're multi-talented. Play with the trolls. Be the easy button. But send some books to me. Got a pencil if you can rewind this thing. Mail the books to 640 Highway 138 Southwest, Riverdale, Georgia, 30274. Purchase some Little Jimmy books and send them to that address. Go to Amazon.com, look up I Was Being Told, but Nothing About My Dreams, so I can go help these children that's being hijacked from liberalism 5 times sideways while you protect this adult that has demonstrated that they sold you out, while you continue to listen to these cheerleaders that's then cheered you into protecting a serial adulterer, violating all your principles. He can't even tell you it's 2 Corinthians versus 2 Corinthians. Pray for our president. Pray for him. Get God back on our side. Understand we have sacrificed God on our side. This is why our children are doing ungodly things. Gangs, all these things are filling the void that we functioning Christians should be doing. I'm just trying to get us functioning again. I have an engine. I'm asking you to prime it. Put some fuel in it. Give me some gas money. If there's somebody else out there, man, help them speak up and give them some gas money too. Our babies need it. I believe our children are our future. I wish I could sing like Whitney, but I don't want to end up dead in somebody's bathtub. Come on, people. Functioning Christianity, functioning conservatism. Read your word. Be your word. Don't get sucked in with the easy button. Pennsylvania should show you that's a losing proposition. Liberalism is filling the void that the Trojan elephant and that shiny magical R has attracted us away from. Pray for Trump. Help me out, guys. If you want to figure out another way to donate, just PM me. Please share this video. Like my page. And just know this. I love you guys to death. I love you to death. Man, you guys are my family. We have a country that we can save. You're not going to save 2018. That bracket is gone. You're not going to save 2020. That bracket is gone. But we got to save our babies. We got to save some of these childish acting adults. We got to stop spending our time going back and forth with these trolls. People that won't show you their face. We need to seek Jesus' face. Please support me. Please. Please. Pray for me. Pray for my pastor. Pray for my church. More so, pray for yourselves. I'm praying for you. Hey. LilJimmyDJPods.Jimdo.com or hit me on a PM. Private message me. PhilWilliamsShow@gmail. Email me. Tell me how you'd like to support. Buy the books. Send them to that address. 640 Highway 138 Southwest, Riverdale, Georgia 30274. Help me do these programs in these schools so our children can know about their dreams versus out here marching for these socialist dreams that they've been indoctrinated into these school systems to go implement. Hey, this March Madness will show you that you got a losing bracket if it has an incumbent in it. Hey, we may have come here on two separate ships, but we're all in the same boat now. And it takes both the black and white keys on the piano to play the Star Spangled Banner. So peace, love, together forever. Don't worry, be happy, and feel that energy. And remember what you are is God's gift to you. What you do with yourself is your gift to God. Only one life will be passed, but only what's done while you here will last. We were blessed before we had color. So engage your mind and answer one question. Did Pennsylvania wake you up? If it did, then understand if you have an incumbent in your brackets, you're not understanding this March Madness. Hey, I love you. Please support what I'm doing. Like the Phil Williams Show, subscribe to it on YouTube, and just know this: I love you with everything I have and everything I don't have. Hey, God bless you. Function in your dominion.